A lot of people use games as a form of escapism. You know, they look at how rough the world can be sometimes and they say, you know what? Fuck that. I'm gonna go leave that behind because that blows. I want to go be a really cool 7-8 Greek god who has destroyed entire pantheons and is doing badass shit. Which, that makes total sense. I mean, if I could pick between being me, or Kratos, or Master Chief, or Nathan Drake, I would like to experience it a little bit. You know, not permanently, but I'd like to try it out. And that really is the appeal of games, is to experience something that you know you can't really experience in real life. What if I said to you, there was a time when people, and I mean a lot of people, played games that were way fucking harder than real life. They weren't whimsical. We're talking hunger, you know, illnesses, losing all of your progress, and you're just a normal guy trying to make it in a world that was way harder than our own. Now, it might not sound fun at first to manage, you know, hunger and thirst and zombies and building, and holy shit, there was so much building and wood and stone, and there was just so much of it. And then your friends would get pissed at you for losing something. It was fucking great. But I genuinely believe that this era of games influenced a lot of the gaming landscape that we see today, and you may not even realize it in some ways. That's what I wanted to talk about today, was the golden era of survival games and how much I think that influenced the gaming landscape today, and how many of those games that I wish had freshly come out now and I could re-experience all of those memories. So join me today. So sit your ass down and watch this video, and also click subscribe and watch a 20-year-old man rant about video games for like 10 minutes. Thank you. We're going to talk about a lot of cool survival games in this video, and there was a great amount. However, a lot of them were ass. Holy shit, so much of them were so bad, and just goddamn. Now, if you're like me and you've been on the gaming side of YouTube for a good amount of time now, you'll know of the Arma 2 DayZ mod that was released in May of 2012, which was the shit, dude. Oh my god, this game is awesome still. This was the game that introduced me, and I'm sure a lot of you, this kind of hardcore game style that hadn't been really tapped into like this before and shown to a lot of people. For me at least, me and my buddies would play this game till like 11 p.m. until one of their moms would come in and scream at them because it was a school night. And then you don't want to play without them, so you have to get off. And you would always hear like the iconic door opening sound, mom yelling, and the PC shut off. It was an unbeatable combo. In particular though, one YouTuber that I'm sure a lot of you have heard of, Frankie on PC and 1080p, blew the fuck up out of this game. And I mean, it was, his videos still doing numbers. I still rewatch some of them, even though some of them are obviously scripted. I understand that, but his earlier ones that weren't were still so good. A lot of this led to a thriving community with special events and traders and safe zones, and the limits were endless. Every server had a different mod list, so you can go to a different server for a tailored experience to you. And then you would get to know the members of that community. But this led to a lot of games that had similar aspects to DayZ being made and inspired by it. Which these were some of the most successful and most revered games for 10 years almost. But shortly after the mod was released and it blew up, it reached a staggering amount of players. It reached 1 million players in not a long time at all. And the main dev, Dean Hall, eventually actually got hired by Bohemia Interactive, the developers behind the Arma series, and was asked to make a standalone game for DayZ, and made the DayZ mod for Arma 2 official in 2013. So if you want to right now, you could go to Steam and download that Arma 2 DayZ mod and play it. Bare bones, of course, without the mod list, but still just play it. And that's crazy to me that one guy made a mod that did all this. I mean, DayZ really started all of this. Yes, the zombies still phase through the doors, and you gotta build the goofy ass bicycle with the bicycle kit and then bike to the nearest town. Alright, it doesn't have a lot of the modern amenities that we know of. And the car physics, holy shit. What stood out to me really the most about DayZ was the rep system in a survival game that we really hadn't seen before. You had two main playstyles that were hero and bandit. You could have negative rep and positive rep for helping people or just killing them on sight. And they each had their own outfits indicating which one you were. But whenever this game style was first introduced, it just made the entire game feel heavier. It felt heavier whenever you killed someone. It felt heavier whenever you died. And staying up late at night playing with your friends gave you a strange sense of comfort, which is why I think it exploded on YouTube, was the immersion and the sense of story that each of your characters had whenever you played them. In a lot of the games, the story that you get is already laid out for you and predetermined, and you don't get to make your own. And it was really refreshing to get a game that not only wanted you to play with your friends, but have your friends make your own story. You had no idea what was going to happen. But sure, most of the nights you were just running around, grabbing random shit, putting it into your backpack, and then depoting it in your base. But whenever those really special nights hit where you got in those huge firefights, or met a goofy-ass stranger, that made my entire night. However, after DayZ, there was another survival game started that wasn't quite the same but had a lot of the similar aspects. Project Zomboid, which I am very familiar with, and I love Project Zomboid very dearly. I have a couple of videos on this channel about Project Zomboid, and they did pretty well. You should go watch them if you haven't, please. What really separated Project Zomboid from DayZ was how in-depth each of the skill mechanics were, and overall how the mechanics of your character worked in general. The progression of skills was such a huge part of the game, and I always got more attached to my characters in Project Zomboid than I did in DayZ, because you actually got to name them. For example, Huge Anus. Dude is still fucking alive. That guy's gonna live forever. And the beauty of the skill system is not every character can do everything, and it takes a long time to get efficient at one skill. So whenever you're playing with your friends, each of you have a role to fulfill in the group, making each member special in their own way, feeling like you need them. If you haven't played Project Zomboid, please go give it a chance. Oh my god, that game's awesome. Very shortly after Project Zomboid, another game was launched just on the heels of it, also having a lot of the aspects of DayZ and Project Zomboid. It was very innovative, had a very dedicated player base, and the game I'm talking about is Rust, or now known as Rust Legacy, which was made in December 11th of 2013. Now, Rust was a lot like DayZ, but it was clunky as hell, and for some reason, all of the characters moved like this, but it was still goddamn fun. The main difference about Rust is that it wasn't as food-oriented, and it was a lot more build-oriented. You could have massive bases with huge fucking sniper floors. Rust Legacy, whenever you had a fat-ass base with a sniper floor and a bolt action, and you were sitting up there with your friends just chatting, that was peak. There was and still is crazy base plays you could do with running into a base and killing the people that were in it, taking off their bags, and taking all of their belongings. Which is the best feeling in the world, even though that is terrible to say. Knowing that you took all of someone's effort and joy for that night and put it in your pocket, oh my god. And knowing that they have to then turn off their computer and log off for the night and look at themselves in the darkness of their monitor, holy shit. And then if you were that guy that just got broken into and killed, you knew that you were going to have to wake up the next day and tell your friends what happened. Tell them that everything is gone. Rust Legacy was an amazing game, and it was first person only, unlike DayZ where you could switch between third and first person, although some servers were locked to first person. It just had this certain character to it that certain people really liked, myself included. I have a lot of hours on Rust. Not anymore, because the recent updates are kind of shit. But Rust Legacy is kind of a thing of the past now, and Rust got completely reworked into an almost different game with new graphics, different mechanics, now huge monuments. And I haven't played Rust for a while, but there's even a new trader town now with gambling. Let's go! And that leads us to our next game. A lot of the games were hit and misses, but one of the ones that actually did stick was H1Z1. And this game ended up changing fucking everything. H1Z1 had a absolutely terrible launch. There was a bunch of bugs, a lot of technical issues, and a login bug that would not allow players to log in and play the game. Despite this, somehow, it sold 1 million copies, and some people loved it. And the success that H1Z1 had from launch allowed them to split it into 2 projects. Now, there was H1Z1 the survival portion, and then there's H1Z1 King of the Kill, which I know isn't directly a survival game, but it was made off of one because it succeeded. Now, if you've heard of H1Z1, you most likely know it for King of the Kill, or H1Z1 Battle Royale as it was called in the past. H1Z1 King of the Kill was so popular, and I genuinely believe that it legitimately laid down the foundation of a lot of the games that we play today. Without H1Z1, there would be no PUBG. Without a PUBG, I feel like there would be no Fortnite, which is the craziest butterfly effect that was created by some goofy-ass developer named Dean Hall. And now you can play as Rick, doing some TikTok dances. You can play as Rick Sanchez or Rick from The Walking Dead. Take your pick, man. We are on a timeline. That is known. Now, I joke now, but whenever I genuinely look back on the golden era of these games, I will forever be grateful for the memories that they gave me. And I know that they will never be forgotten about or replaced by different ones, because It was just so different back then. I worked so hard to get that hero outfit on DayZ, and I was so happy when I got it, only to be fucking killed like 10 minutes after. But to this day, I still remember working so hard to give other people blood transfusions and be super nice to people to try and get that outfit because it looked so cool. Only to then get a C4 planted on my car, and then as soon as I left the safe zone, it blew up and I lost everything and just went to bed and got on the next day and tried to do it all again. And the community that I talked about before is real. Whenever you got on an Arma 2 DayZ server and played on it for like a long period of time, you got to know each member of the community and formed friendships and enemies. I had legitimate nemesis on some of these servers that I would go hunt down, or even clan wars. Not like Clash of Clans, it's a different topic for a different video. I have so many different memories of staying up super late at night on Rust, just gathering fucking wood and stone, talking with my friends, and just sitting there. And you don't say it, but you're thinking, like, damn, these are my people. I want to know these guys forever. And I will never get that night back, but I will forever be grateful that that happened. And be so grateful that these games happened. Maybe I'm just older and in college, so I can't stay up till 4 a.m. anymore doing dumb shit. I gotta study and whatnot. But I will stand by the statement that the gaming landscape today genuinely would not be the same without these guys laying the foundation for it. In particular, one motherfucker named Dean Hall. So call up your buddies and go play DayZ or Rust if you hate yourself, and see if you can have just one more of those nights. The immersive nature of these games, I feel, is what truly made them special. You weren't Master Chief or Kratos, but it was the world that you got immersed in and lost yourself in. I really hope that we have another era of these games because I really enjoy them and I miss those days. But I know that I am not the only one with stories on Rust or DayZ or H1Z1 or Project Zomboid or countless more that I can't possibly go over all in this video, but I want to hear your guys' stories. What character did you guys play as? What kind of roleplay style did you go for? Did you like one more than the other? There's just a lot of... I want to hear every experience that you guys had. But I really think that that's all I wanted to go over in this video. I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. And if you have gotten to this point, please consider subscribing because that would mean a lot to me. I'm trying to grow my channel. But I will see you guys next time. Have a good day.